Welcome back. St. Lucian bikers took to the streets of Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in October as part of both territories' independence festivities. The annual activity is a notable initiative towards furthering cultural integration in the Caribbean. A member of the Easy Cruisers Riding Club hails the 2019 trip as a success regardless of a last-minute decrease in biker numbers. He says bikers were very pleased with the list of activities prepared for them.
Annually we go to Dominica like an exchange program for the Dominica Independence / Creole week of activities. And of course this year was no exception. A group of us went to Dominica to celebrate with them the Creole Festival and the independence. There were about 10 bikes from St. Lucia. We had more, but unfortunately our list had to be curtailed because of certain circumstances. However, our trip was really an enjoying and exciting one.
Now back on island, members have set their sights on the next big activity, the annual Easy Cruisers Riding Club Charity Ride.
We are into Christmas seasons coming in. Of course, we do not leave the sick and shut-in without their supplies, and so we make it an annual thing to distribute hampers to the poor and the needy around the island. The thing about us is that we don't really target the established places because of course they have other corporate purses given to them, you know, the established places. But what we do in our riding around the island, we normally go to the different communities and we can identify individuals and we find out about them. And so when we going out to do our hamper distribution, we have our van, we load, and then we take and we distribute to these people. And we go not just around the island, but we go to the nooks and crannies of the different towns and villages on island.
Joseph says that the bikers have identified an increasing number of St. Lucians who wish to join the annual Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines trip, and he praises their efforts in helping to show St. Lucia's support to sister islands. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, ICA, is raising awareness to citrus farmers in a bid to sensitize them about a threat that could wipe out the island's citrus fruit sector. This is being done in the form of a 3-day capacity building exercise, which will teach farmers to observe and control the spread of the disease.
Citrus farmers are being asked to keep their eyes open for a disease that could not only wipe out their crops, but could wipe out citrus fruit production island-wide if not dealt with correctly. Brent Theophil, who is the national specialist with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, ICA, explained that the task is being undertaken during a 3-day capacity building exercise aimed at looking at the early identification and control of citrus greening disease, also known as Wang Long Bing. The disease was positively identified in St. Lucia in 2014 and directly affects the productivity of the plant and includes causing the growth of less fruit to harvest.
It's a disease that's fatal to all citrus, including our common hedge, what we call sweet lime. After a few years, all these trees will die if they are infected with this disease. Unfortunately, this disease has been positively identified in St. Lucia. So we're taking this intervention in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, together with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries from Jamaica, to build capacity in country for effective control.
Senior Research Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Hannah Romaine, had an important message for persons coming to the island from overseas. She said they need to be more vigilant about what they carry in with them.
To avoid the entry of diseases like this one that we are working with today, we are encouraging farmers to manage, is that please they need to get permission from the Ministry of Agriculture and ensure that whatever plant commodity that they're bringing into St. Lucia, that it is okay to bring in, because pests and diseases, they have no borders, they have no passports, and they can come in on person, and when they do come in, it really is a task on the government's part to manage, and even eradication is not possible.
Romaine said there is a wide range of signs to look out for when dealing with affected plants.
You may find that the fruit may be a bit bitter, and you won't be able to consume it as normal. And that for sure is one of the very clear signs that your tree is infected. Also, you may find early fruit drop, whereas before the fruit reaches its full maturity, you may find that they've all already fallen. So this is also one of the signs. In addition, you will also find that the fruit may not be as normal as it used to be. It may be a bit lopsided.
Romain urged persons who have spotted the disease to prune their trees to reduce the spread of the disease. She also urged persons to refrain from using pesticides to get rid of the insects responsible for spreading the disease, as they themselves have a natural enemy in the form of a wasp that feeds off them. Using pesticides, she said, will also affect the number of said wasps. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
In a bid to bolster more activity within the apiculture industry, agriculture leaders have forged an alliance with the government and people of the Republic of Argentina, a country known to strategically advance its agriculture and farming sector to meet new global standards. We hear more about this recent development from the Agriculture Ministry's Amanda Faikla.
His Excellency Gustavo Martinez Pandiani, Ambassador of the Argentine Republic to Barbados and the OECS, made a courtesy call to the Agriculture Ministry to engage key apiculture stakeholders, including the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, and key ministry personnel in a consultation to identify areas of action to advance the apiculture industry. In addressing the gathering, Ambassador Pandiani says it is his hope to design a work program which will be of mutual benefit to the two countries, St. Lucia and Argentina, and which will support the unique needs of the local apiculture industry.
We identify apiculture as one of the priorities. The intention of this program is not only to be of technical technical efficient in terms of the production of the honey, but also on the commercialization side of it, even the marketing side of it. Because sometimes we realize in the Caribbean, you have the capabilities of producing good honey, but sometimes the main obstacle is how to sell it, how to prepare yourselves to even export it. And taking into account the very heavy import bill you have in St. Lucia and many other countries in the Caribbean, I think it would be a great initiative for the government itself to lower that import bill by start exporting and stop importing honey.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture representative to the Eastern Caribbean states, Greg Rollins, says his organization has been working with the Argentine government in developing areas of mutual collaboration. On the itinerary for the coming weeks, Mr. Rawlings explains that while St. Lucia is somewhat ahead of the other OECS islands, Ambassador Pandiani will return to the island for a fact-finding mission from the 5th to the 9th of December 2019.
A project has been developed called API-Caribe, a project that seeks to support the apiculture industries in the Caribbean region, not only from the perspective of taking full advantage of the opportunities for increasing production of honey and byproducts, but also addressing the issue of bee populations and challenges in relation to bee populations, given the important role that bees play in pollination, crops, and so on. The first phase of the project involves 4 countries: Barbados, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia.
In applauding the ongoing efforts to improve the agriculture economy, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Barrymore Felicia, says he wants to ensure this first phase of the project is successful and as such has called on apiculture stakeholders to be open to the exchange and dialogue necessary to augment the performance of the subsector.
One concern for us, of course, is the skill set and capacity to deal with technical assistance within the ministry and on ground. So that is an area that we need to develop, an area we need to look at. Recently, during my visit to Costa Rica, there were discussions to explore how technical assistance with an institution called CATIE to see how that can be explored to strengthen especially our extension services. So that is an area of concern for us, and we're looking to see how we can strengthen support to our apiculturists, farmers and fishers generally through the ministry. Having said so, we look forward to the technical mission. The fact-finding mission will take place in December, and to support that mission, to provide the documentation, to provide the verbal and written information required for a proper assessment of the apiculture industry in St. Lucia so that we could move forward.
Currently, agriculture development leaders view apiculture as a viable subsector, which can, with strategic intervention, positively impact the overall agriculture economy. From the Ministry of Agriculture, this is Amanda Fee Clark reporting.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Tennyson Glasgow is up next with all the sporting action.